Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. I am going to be talking about the man that you see on the screen here, and I'm going to tell you why he would be considered one of my heroes. I don't know this man personally. Thanks to Brother Raphael for sharing this story with me. These are the kinds of things that I like to see, and some of the things that I think we need to talk about as a people. This is one of those solution-based videos that needs to be really promoted. I am going to leave a link to this video in the description box, or should I say a link to his video in the description box, because I think it's very important that this type of idea catches on. Okay, of course, I've talked in the past about others who are doing something very similar, but I wanted to talk about this guy because what he is doing, he's doing this in the hood. And of course, there are others doing this in the hood too. And not enough of us are talking about these things or promoting this type of lifestyle. His is called Grape Street Crip, where he's actually growing fresh food with aquaponics in Watts. Okay, now again, this is one of those solution-based videos because we can talk about our problems all day long, in which I am not saying that we shouldn't talk about them and point them out and even highlight them from time to time, but I'm thinking that that should be followed with some type of solution or some type of direction as to how we navigate through these situations we find ourselves in. But I want to roll a very small snippet of his video first, and then I'm going to come right back, of course, because I think there is much that can be learned from movements such as this.
I talked to y'all last time about the little aquaponic hydroponic system, the farming system, growing food through the food towers. But right now, one of my main goals is, by me, just got a large shipment, a large inventory over here. I got a little work yard. I'm basically ready for, to start manufacturing. So I'm putting it out here, you know what I mean, and let y'all know, that this is what's going on. But first of all, I want to put, we want to be able to put 100 of these food towers in each project in Watts. Like, that's my main goal.
Okay, as you see, this young man he's got a vision. He has an idea. Okay, so apparently for this vision to have come to pass in the first place, or to even have been in his mind, he saw that there was a problem that needed a solution. And so instead of complaining and just talking about it, oh, we have food deserts, oh, they're not doing this for us, oh, they're not doing that for us, oh, food stamps are being cut off and this is happening and that's happening, he says, okay, well, what is the solution to this? And so his solution was to do what? Take to the streets in Watts and develop what you see unfolding in his video. I want you to look at the video in its entirety, okay? Because this is what our men need to be doing. I did a video some time ago where I was asking our brothers, I was asking black men, what are your solutions to the problems that we are faced with? I know that we have pastors in the pulpits who are collecting millions and millions of dollars every year, and they are constantly asking for access to private jets, and their pastor needs to be sent on this trip, send me on the trip here, send me on the trip there, asking you to fund their trips to various places, you see, so that they can go and minister, you see, people who already have the funds to do what they're asking you to pay them for, you see, or contribute to, so that they can carry on their ministry as if they are the only pastors or bishops out there who can go to Africa. You see, now I said that to say this is because there are so many issues that we are facing with in this country, in the Caribbean, on the islands, various islands, in the UK and Canada, on the continent, Our people are facing so many different issues around the world, and we all talk about those issues all of the time. And many times, everyone is always looking to the next person to come up with solutions. They look to the next person. Okay, what is this person going to do? What is that person going to do? My question is, what are you going to do? This brother here, he said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And he put his plan into action. He put his plan into action. And things such as this start with a vision. Even the scripture says, without a vision, people perish. Visions are something that you can imagine, something that you dream to take place. But it doesn't stop there. You say, okay, I'm going to take one step at a time and realize this dream, you see. And so I commend this brother for what he is doing in Watts. Even Brother Chana, he is transforming the hood for good. I've known their family years ago, and they're doing great and wonderful things too. I talked about some other young men down south who are doing similar things, who are taking just food plots throughout their communities. I'm sorry, they're taking lots throughout their community and turning them into food plots, right? And I've talked about others who are doing the same thing, taking one lot at a time, transforming it to food plots to grow food. I talked about a pastor in North Carolina some years ago who decided instead of complaining about being in a food desert, he took all the young people at his church, instead of putting them on the praise team and doing all this other stuff and just making sure they have fun, doing holy hip hop and all this stuff. He said, hey, let's take all of these vacant lots in our community, and we're going to cut our own food bills in half by growing much of our own food on these vacant, empty city lots. And so they put their hand in the soil and their feet on the ground, and they made it happen. And so these are the things that I love to see, and I think we should talk about these things more, because this is what is needed. If you see that they're messing with the food stamp program, instead of complaining about it, saying, what are we going to do? This is what you can do. This is why we started the seed giveaway last year, to encourage those of you who have never really gotten into gardening or growing your own food, who never saw it as something important, because there's always a store that you can go and just yank something off the shelf. But I thank the Most High for those of you who have given us testimonies over the years, saying that, Sister Deborah, after watching your videos, many of your garden videos, you have inspired me to start a garden. So we have a lot of testimonies from brothers and sisters who were inspired by our garden videos to get going. And you are doing quite well with that. So I want to encourage you even more. We're going to start our seed giveaway again with the seed banks. Many of them having thousands and thousands of seeds, more than 20,000 seeds in some of them, with varying varieties of vegetables and some fruits. So I would like to encourage you even more. Get prepared for that. I want to commend this young man in Watts for what he is doing. I am so proud of him, so very proud of him. We are in the time of year where it's still winter, but this is preparation time for gardening, and I'm looking forward to it, because that is where the real medicine is. The real medicine is in what we eat. From time to time, we feel things in our bodies. I know I do. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? We've got to take control of what we eat better. Because even when they mark organic on something, that is not always necessarily the truth. And so in order to really, truly make sure that what you are eating is indeed organic or wholesome or clean, you should probably grow it yourself. I saw a video not long ago of a man who was diagnosed with HIV more than 20 years ago. He said he was very sick, and he ended up buying a property. He said he really went there to die, but he said in being on this land that he started just playing around in the soil with different plants and gardening things, and 20 years later, he says he's healthier than he's ever been, just from you know, getting rid of the stress in his life, getting out there in the garden, just growing various things, and even creating an environment for himself that was very calm and peaceful. And so I just want to encourage those of you who, even if you live in the hood, I mean, look, this brother is in Watts. That did not stop him from doing what he is doing. He's making a difference, making changes, making progress instead of making excuses. And that's where we all need to be. Sometimes we need encouragement. Some need more encouragement than others. Some actually won't even get started just from a pep talk, but they need someone to actually drag them along, kicking and scratching and biting to do this. But newsflash, nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to drag you along on something so important as growing your own food and starting a garden and trying to be self-sufficient. Nobody's going to do that. So if you don't have the drive and ambition from a pep talk or from seeing someone else do it, then you're going to be one of those who are going to fall through the cracks when the system fails and there are no more SNAP cards or food stamp benefits or any help from the government. You're going to be one of those who fall through the cracks, and you're going to be trying to figure out a way to survive. And so I wanted to do this video to encourage you to look at this brother, look at his example. He's in the hood. He's not out in the country. He's not on a huge plot of land or anything like that. He's doing his business. He's doing his job. He's making his change right there in the hood. And so, yes, family, I wanted to bring this to you. Take a look at his whole story. The link is in the description area. And with that, I will say shalom. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel. And also comment, share, like, and subscribe.